Let's go ahead and talk about space on T side. This is critical to your attack and understanding where you actually need to put your resources because so many players, what they do is they have one game plan. I am going to take long. The problem with this is that the CTs have the luxury of setting their defenses up wherever they want. For example, we'll exaggerate, say that there is 3 or 4 CTs that fight long early. If your teammate runs out in front of you and dies to 3 guys out here plus the guy throwing util, why on earth will we sit here and try to continue taking this space? Instead, what we naturally need to understand is that mid/short is so free to take right now. Like, honestly, B is very weak. One practice that I use is I draw a line through the middle of the map. Especially on maps like Inferno, Dust 2, this is so effective because if 3 CTs, the majority of the CTs are on the right side of the map for me over here, the A side, then I'm going to go B. I'm going to go to the left side. You just literally draw that line and make your decision off of that. And that's the cheat code at low elo and even face level 10 when you're breaking into there, just understanding that common reaction. Boom, we go to the other side. Now on a map like Dust 2, it's very simple. You just throw like a mid to B. You can throw a fancy little flash here, bang, pop out, and boom, you just isolated those players. It's very difficult for them to rotate back out. Now, that's awesome. And that's good to know, this like idea of go to the part that they're not on, right? You can't play the entire game like that. So let's go ahead and talk about what happens if we get frags, if we get kills. A lot of players, again, they trap themselves. They put themselves into one situation where they can't flow out, where they can't do anything productive, right? A big idea with this is the guy who comes here on B, gets the kill on the B player, bang, frags this guy. He knows the next guy is mid, but instead of playing it safe, instead of using his util to maybe smoke off doors and to get into sight, he just instantly tries to fight and die. Congratulations, you took the space and you got yours, but you lost all that power that you could have had. Instead, if we get that kill and we can instantly sit here, smoke off doors, maybe even molly window if you're really fast enough, bang, you've just exec sight. They can't get in very easily, and now you found yourself in a power position. The amount of times I see people just get kills and then try to force the next fight, and the next fight, and the next fight is insane. Guys, the same exact concept here on long. I can tell who is intelligent CS player and who's not. When we get these 2 kills, bang, we run out long. We're in a 5v3 now. And instead of waiting for our utility, the guy just wants to take space and go too fast and then dies towards CT rotate. Oh, guys, don't worry. I got my 2 frags. But no, like you didn't have to make that mistake. These are the things that are holding you back because then your team is losing rounds that they shouldn't be losing. Get those 2 frags. If you have to smoke it on the fly, do it. But maintain that control as long as possible. People just want to throw that control away. It makes no sense. Another situation on T side that we're just doing this wrong is we're coming up short here. We're coming up catwalk. And we frag the guy on site. We know the only A player left is long. Maybe we're in a 4v2. Long and B player last. Why on earth would I sit out here and try to fight the long guy? It just doesn't make sense to throw my life away in that manner because we have the information. When you have information in this game, it's not worth it to take that risk trying to fight it if you have the advantage. If I'm in the 4v2, it does not make sense to throw my life away because the 50-50 is just not worth it. It's not valuable. And a lot of times it's actually less than a 50-50. If they're on an established angle, maybe they're head glitching you in pit or something, and it's just an easy frag for them. So really critically think, do I need to take this fight? If you have the power, chances are you don't need to take it. There's just no reason. People do this wrong all the time on retakes, is they're just giving the CTs away back in. They're peeking down into CT spawn here, trying to get frags. Dude, if you just let the CT try to come up and clear out all these angles, eventually you're going to catch them off in a really disadvantageous spot. Also, you can rely on your crossfires, and it's just so easy to win the round. It's not wrong that they're aggressive. It's wrong when they don't have that switch where they can turn it on and off. Time and time again, that's one of the most common mistakes that I see when I'm coaching players over on coachmo.gg. It's just so common that people throw like that. All right, let's go ahead and flip over to CT side now.
This video is brought to you by Skins Monkey, the best CS2 trading site out there. Swap out your low quality skins for fresh new ones using all of their trade features. I love the filters that you can use to get the exact skin that you desire. I have personally used Skins Monkey to build my inventory over the years. Right now, use my code KOJO at the checkout for an insane 35% deposit bonus. The best part is that you will receive a $5 bonus by clicking the link in the description.
Now on CT side, it's going to be very mirrored tactics, but the beauty is that you have the ability to fall back a lot better. You can fall back and kind of play retake if needed. If the T's are taking long here on Dust 2, what noobs try to do is they try to force it down and take like a fight where they're facing off against 3 guys here. Because a very common thing that we break through in my coaching is players will be like, Coach, you're teaching me all this stuff, but what if I go long and nobody's coming with me? Okay, that sucks, and that's not ideal. But if you notice that, say you have a spawn here, what I would just do is nade and then run away. Like, literally just give that space because there's other parts of the map you can take. There's 6 flashes, 7 flashes coming out long. just go run up catwalk, go run up short here, go take this space. Whatever the T's want to take, if you're by yourself, it's usually better off taking the other parts of the map. Because then also, hopefully you can connect with your mid teammates and clear this out. And now you have a few options. You could flank long. You can now play sight in a million different angles, right? When they come up long, you can now throw a defensive utility when they throw their cross smoke. You can sit here and actually have more power than if you don't have either of these. So many noobs, what happens is the T's take long and they run back to sight and they try to fight the T's like this. But the problem is they didn't clear off short or mid, so then they get split and they're sitting here going, oh, dude, what do I hold? I can't hold both of these. And it's impossible. It is. Like, you're just going to die the majority of times. So how do we use this in a very, very intelligent way? Because this is great to know. These are very good basics. Guys, you have to learn when to take that risk, take that space as a solo individual player. You're the B player here on Dust 2. You're the B player in Mirage. It's such a boring role, but you have so much impact that you can utilize. So many times when I'm looking at the radar, right? I'm looking at the top left of my screen to see what's going on. If I see the majority of the T's are fighting down mid or, fighting on A, if especially my teammates are dying, I'm wanting to take this risk in here. I'm wanting to actually clear in here and take some forward space because I believe I have a gap. I believe I have an opening. Now, if the map is quiet and our teammates have long control and they have cat control, there is no reason on earth I need to peek into tons. It's very contingent on what's going on around the map. We have map control, I can chill. We don't have map control, that's time for a reaction to happen. And guys, the cheat code as well, if you have a friend, send this video to them, is to do things together. Your double walk, even if it is the bad timing, if you have a buddy next to you doing this, you have more permission to do it. That 1-for-1 trade is not as bad. You might hit the guy for 99. You might whiff on him, have the worst spray ever, right? Spraying something like that. And your buddy can come in here and just trade you. No problem. No worries. So doing stuff together and taking this space is absolutely crucial. It's not good enough to just know it by yourself. It's also why I encourage you guys to join my Discord so that you can connect with a lot of other players in this community. It's amazing. And last little note, guys, is don't just do these basic reactions. Have plans of your own. When I'm going through this B tons by myself here, a few things are happening. If I'm coming out here and I notice that nobody's in spawn, or I think I didn't really clear it, but nobody should be there. And I come in here, a lot of times if we have already a 5v4 or it's a 4v4, I'm going to get this kill and then bounce out. I don't need to keep fighting. I can, but I know that's going to blow up their default so much that the T's are now going to be obsessed because they're going to think at any moment I could peek them. A lot of times, even at the tier 1 level, the T's are now going to spend all this time clearing out tons again. Meanwhile, you've already rotated back and you might even be fighting mid now with your team, taking that space. Again, it all goes back to that space. Taking that space you don't think that they have. So try this concept out in your games. You're going to see a big improvement. I'm going to keep teaching you guys some banger tips and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.